Actually live. Hello, welcome back for another interview. It is your most humble goose here with Martron 7 in a
Hello.
brain that doesn't quite work.
And a what?
My brain does not quite work this morning. Too many
That's
fumes.
okay.
Would you like to introduce yourself and some of your work?
Well, my name is martron 7. I write snootfics when I have time. Currently, I have no time, which is shit. Otherwise, I'm doing alright.
Just
I've written a few things, started a few one-shots, started a collab fig, and the other guy's not writing anything right now, which is kind of annoying, but otherwise, fine. Yeah. So this was just something to keep me occupied while I was away for work. Originally, I wanted to write OCOC stuff. Nobody cared, so I kind of abandoned that. Then I was just brainstorming other story ideas and landed on babysitting Trish's siblings and ended up with Trish. That was the end goal. That is still the end goal, and yeah,
you know
we're on
something.
our way there.
Something I really like with how that starts is just how visceral you got into detail of with the biology of a Triceratops woman, how that would hurt them, and how that would affect their social standing. You got into a lot of detail with that, and I appreciate that because, I mean, you can look at amputees today. Excuse me. You can look at amputees today, and like you'll notice children just kind of stare at them and gawk. It's like they're not right, mommy. Or at least that's the experience I have living here in Kansas, sunny Kansas. We're not the Sunshine State, but we certainly are the Sunflower State.
I'm not sure what that means.
Uh, it means we make a lot of sunflowers.
So tons of sunflower fields, beautiful views everywhere. Or how's that?
It's fucking flat and it's just like a wall of sunflowers, and they're aggressive.
Could be worse.
Somebody taught one how to play baseball, so now it hits people in the head with bats.
So people hit the sunflowers with bats.
No, the sunflowers hit people with bats.
Fucking Plants vs Zombies.
I don't think I'm a zombie.
Well, the plants might think so.
Maybe. Just maybe. Some people use sunflowers as bats. It's interesting. It's fucking fascinating.
People have used literally anything they could fit into their hands to hit each other with, so
Rock.
it's not a surprise.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious. Were you of the first wave into the Snoot fandom? When, like, Snoot first came out?
It was actually shortly after Wani's release. It was somewhere near the beginning of the year. I could look it up when I purchased it because
Steam.
let me actually do that. Wani, when did I purchase this? Okay, that doesn't say here. I'll find it later. Anyways, I kind of just randomly saw the dancing clip from the Winter Formal on like Twitter, and I was like, okay, visual novel. Just people were gushing all over, and I was like, oh, has a demo. Might as well play it. I don't know, I've got nothing to do. I played the demo. I bought the game immediately after that. And yeah, got E4 first try. And from there I was kind of hooked. I got all the other endings, got the epilogue. Then did Snoot after that. And then also really enjoyed that. And yeah, that's basically how it started. Then I was just like, oh, there's fan fictions of it. I think it was... what's his name? Soradobi? I think that's the guy. He was reading like fan fictions. I was like, this has a really active fan fiction community. Might as well just hop in and like read the biggest ones, see if they're any good. And if you start with nothing to something, you're really starting off strong. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah, I was really
I am waiting
like
for
impressed.
that to pick up again.
Yeah.
I need to actually bully that guy into sitting in the chair you're in right now. You think I have enough power to strong arm yet?
I don't know.
With my sub 100 subscriber count. that I haven't checked on in a while, so I'm not actually sure what the number is.
That's fun.
It's great. I love it. Worry not. 3/4 of the way to 100. I get that grand.
Hello?
Howdy.
You kind of cut out there for a moment.
Oh, I was just saying some bullshit. 3/4 of the way to 100.
Okay.
Hey, we're working on it. How I got into Snoot and Wani, if you're interested to know, is I was in a pit of hate, and I saw the light, I guess. I saw some animation that somebody was doing based off Snoot game, like a month or two after it initially released. And I played that, and that took my mind over for a few months. I had no interest to join the actual online community. And then after like a few months is up, I kind of like put it in the back of my mind. And a few years later, I saw the Olivia dancing animation. I'm like, is this the same people? And
Yes.
I looked, it was. I'm like, shit. And so I didn't play the demo. I'm like, this is going to be worth the money anyway.
So you just flat out bought it immediately?
Yeah, I bought it immediately. Naturally. So I'd have no spoilers on my original playthrough.
Yeah, I had extremely minimal ones because I knew there would be a dance, but that was about it. And then I played the demo, and then I just went through it blind. I'm pretty proud of myself. I went blind to
Well
E4
written.
both times.
Well written. I got
Very
a
well
E3
written,
on
very
both.
enjoyable. Yeah. I,
E3 is the realistic ending, is what I've always thought of.
but it's not canon, so I do not give a shit. E4 is the only one they deserve, in my eyes. That's just,
It's
they deserve
like,
to be
have
happy.
you ever seen the Wayne's World movie?
No.
No? Well, the end of the Wayne's World movie, they're like, let's try a happy ending. And then they roll it back and it's like, let's do the super duper ultra happy everyone ending. And that's E4. Like, it's just a quick little gag they do. Just, they rewind the clock a little bit and be like, everybody gets what they wanted. That's how I view E4. Is there a dead pixel on my computer? Or is that just... Oh, that's just your thing. Ten minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my cat is snoring. I don't know why, the last few days she's just been constantly in my room. And she doesn't sleep on the bed, she doesn't sleep on... Oh, sorry. So my cat has been... Actually, let me reposition my mic, give me a second.
Don't put my cat on the mic.
There, I hope that's better. Am I too loud, too quiet?
Oh, you're fine. You were always fine.
Yeah, okay, I've just repositioned my mic. Actually, I have the cable across my legs. That might not be ideal.
Efficiency.
There we go. Now I can't accidentally jostle the microphone around, because that sounds horrible. This mic is very sensitive.
Yeah. I mean, mine's alright. Mine was a $30 mic off of Amazon.
I don't even remember how much this cost. I think it was $120.
Euros
that's pretty
or
good.
dollars?
Euros.
It's about $150. My currency. Freedoms.
My freedom dollars.
My Freedom Eagles.
I've changed the currency to Dino dollars in my fic, just DDs. Oh, it's just a little fun side
I saw
gag.
the DD abbreviation, and I forgot that you made it Dino dollars, and I'm like, double dollars? What is this? Fucking Trigun?
Double dollars.
Is he just like really into Trigun or something? Does he want to be the Stampede?
I'd have to watch Trigun first. But there's only so much time in the day. I'm trying to work, trying to keep up with the learning stuff for work and write. And most of the writing is just right now on hold.
I'll tell you what you needs to know with Trigun. It follows like two insurance collectors going after an outlaw trying to get his insurance policy.
I'm aware of it. I have seen a few things about it. I just haven't watched it in its entirety. I know what it is.
Yeah,
You don't have to tell me
it's
about trying.
enjoyable. Just in case you hadn't seen it, that's the plot synopsis. That's the elevator
Yeah.
pitch. You get 2 sentences for that.
Yeah.
Oh.
The elevator pitch for
Oh yeah, that reminds me of something fun you could do. We could do.
Okay.
You could try and come up with a good elevator pitch. An elevator pitch. You're like, oh, you're the producer of a company or whatever. I guess it's time for me to throw in my thing. If you like it, you'll drag me into your office. So you have like 1 or 2 sentences to describe your story in the most interesting way possible that would get picked up. How would you get any of your stories, one of your earlier like OC stories, picked up by a company? What would be your pitch?
Oof. What's the best way to put it without being completely disrespectful? Because I have something that is very disrespectful if I describe it like that. But
Well, like
for Shush, I would genuinely just actually let me put the words together.
if you've seen Spoiling
We make a
Friends-
Cavemanon style visual novel, but this time the player character is the one with the problems. And mainly his problem is his hearing. So we're gonna save money on music, shit like that. I don't know. So
Caveman
the original,
discovers love for the first time.
it's not a caveman. They're both dinos this time. It's just something I wanted to mess with. Just more with the dino biology to really throw a guy into the mix, give him the short end of the stick, make him a compy, and then just see what happens. So the guy's name's Mole, and he's been transferred over from a specialized school to St. Hammond at the same time as Inko. I'm just gonna drop a few notes here and there, but they never, met. It's just, for example, on like his second day, he's gonna walk into the principal scaler's office and he's gonna catch Sully being chewed up for sending 2 students home in one day, which is a new record. And yeah. So that's gonna be fun. I've been messing around at a hotel where I had to stay for work. So because there were meetings and I had to be there in the morning in person because they were not online possible, they just weren't. And I had a lot of hours in the afternoon to entertain myself, and YouTube eventually gets boring. So I was like, maybe I should write something for myself, just a little bit to kill time. And then I had basically the most autistic world building session. I wrote a fuck ton of characters. I wrote a lot of like things I want to happen. Then I had to order them, and like 2 days later, I had like a full storyline of where I wanted things to go. And yeah, technically, I already know what's gonna happen for like 90% of it. So if, for example, we were to start developing a fan game, I'd have the timeline and the events all set up. Just obviously the branching pathways. I obviously wrote it in like an E4 direction. Yeah.
I mean, E4 was the afterthought for Snoot, so.
E3 was the intended ending, and then E4 was the afterthought.
Yep.
I've seen the dev stream, so I got a few facts from jumbling around in there. But I didn't want to keep too close to it, because the main thing is Mole has his hearing, like, it's not damaged, it's kind of the opposite. His ears are hypersensitive, and he has to wear, like, earmuffs all day. And he can't really hear well, and it's a very sharp incline of when he starts to hear and when it starts being painful. So if he, for example, loses them, he's going to have a very, very, very rough time. And he kind of runs into this loner girl. She's a Therizinosaurus, Lisa. And she has nerve damage in her hands, therefore her hands are kind of fucking useless. Like, she can barely write, which sucks at school. Especially when you have to hand in, like, a written essay of, like, say, 1,000 words. It's going to be rough.
Now, how do you write a Therizinosaurus being? Do you give them full murder mittens? Like the long
she has them filed down because her hands are, like, very numb, and she has difficulty controlling them. She doesn't want to accidentally poke herself or others, so they're, like, filed down, like prison style, like really short and blunt. And that's going to be, really shameful for them. because it's like their defining feature. If you're a Therizinosaurus, you have these like claw hands, or like
Otherwise, you're just a big
spear
chicken.
hands. I don't know exactly how to describe it, like pointy fingers. And if you have to file those down for medical reasons, that sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, without those big claws, you're just a big chicken.
Kinda.
I remember going to the Union Station, which has like a museum in the basement of it. And it was like Dinosaur Month that month. This was my grandma, and it's the first time I saw like a model of a Therizinosaurus, the big murder chicken. You know what? It was kind of fucking cool. It's like, if I were to scale it to me as an adult now, it'd be 15 foot tall. I know it wasn't that. It was like 9 foot tall at most, because I was like 5. 3 meters, roughly, about. Minus.
Big, tall, murder chickens with claws like the size of you.
Yeah. Well, 3 foot tall, 3 foot claws, and I'm 4 foot tall.
You're 4 foot tall?
No, when I was 4 foot tall, I'm 6
Oh,
foot tall.
I was like,
I'm a
short little guy.
I'm just a little guy.
I could set you up on a shelf and you'd be helpless. Couldn't
No,
get down.
I'm 6'3".
God damn it.
I am nearly 2 meters tall, almost.
I'm 183 centimeters, so it's like I think roughly 6 feet, and I'd say it's the right size. You're not like fucking fat. You're still nimble, but you're still big enough to like defend yourself against anybody even remotely smaller than you. It's just the right size, I'd say.
I mean, I'm
happy.
also just a kind of a heavy guy. I don't know what it is in kilograms, but it's approximately
Because you're
big.
taller.
Well, yeah, I am taller, but I'm also, I'm not quite obese. I'm kind of chubby.
Some people are into that.
That's not what this is about. Like I can run, I can do active things. It's just I got a gut on me.
Yeah, I've seen some football athletes. They look like nothing special, and they can fucking
They
run.
are fucking fat, and they
They
know how to use their goddamn mass. Right now, are you talking about American football or European football?
American. Europeans are a bit lankier for actual full-out speed. The Americans, they got more momentum. That's the best way I can put it.
Everybody's saying that
But
rugby
there's
is
there's
just
some
like,
that can run for like an hour straight, no problem, and that's still fucking impressive. Like, jeez.
people are saying that rugby is like the better form of American football, and I'm just okay. And they're like, well, it's more dangerous. People hurt themselves more often. Well, yeah, you don't wear protective
It's a
pads.
sport.
You don't wear any protection. If we have these guys collide the way they usually collide, but without pads on, they die.
Yeah. They give each other brain damage for decades until they have to change the rules.
Dog, that is a 280-pound motherfucker landing on a 160-pound
Touching
guy.
you, yeah.
If they didn't have pads, that little guy would be dead.
Yeah.
I'd say American football is more dangerous because there's the size difference some players have.
Yeah, some fucking 6'8" giant motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like walls of muscle
then you
and
got,
bone,
like,
and
a
it just
regular
crashes
guy.
into you.
And it's like, yeah, but if he runs into you, he stops your fucking heart. Everybody over there is like 5'11", weighing in like 160 pounds max.
Here comes this 260-pound gorilla that just will fold you in half.
And oh boy, you have taken his banana.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a sports guy. I just know that off the cultural consciousness, the reason we have pads is because of the fucking size differences we get.
Yeah.
Because there's no like homogenized genes over here. Americans take so many extra forms than any other country in the world, just because we are the quote unquote melting pot.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, well, yeah, you get the fucking mix of every genetic phenotype. That's what it means, is that we are just like the genetic new primordial soup. Because when people end up in the same place for long enough, they start looking the same. Well, we've
Yeah.
not been in the same place long enough to look the same, which means we have a lot of differences.
Yeah, and the melting pot, the size is fucking gigantic.
Yeah. So we get all the Scandinavian tall genes, we grab the stocky genes from the fucking Mediterranean, we fucking put those together, throw that fucker in Louisiana.
Out comes a fucking 6'8" cornbread motherfucker that will absolutely
6'6" Jedediah. He has an IQ of 7, and oh boy, he loves playing football.
They got an IQ of 7. That absolutely sent me. IQ of 7, but that boy can run.
He's gotten a college degree in moving well.
College degree in football tactics.
College degree in stiffing crayons.
Or that.
I put my shirt on this morning.
Yeah.
I won't even get into how
Anyways.
IQ tests are like really inaccurate for actually determining intelligence. It's just how well you can form.
Let's not go there.
Alright. Well, the literal, I'm not going to go super deep into it, but the literal original purpose of it is just to see, or to predict how well you would do in school. That's what it was invented for.
Yeah.
Now, it's changed in that 100 years. It's probably a little more accurate than it was, but... yeah.
Anyways, back on track.
Back on track.
Kind of went off into a completely irrelevant tangent there.
This is why I usually have a wrangler with me to help me.
Yeah, I need to like shoot you to keep you from going off into a random direction.
I'll take any conversation thread as far as it will go.
Damn.
I suppose I should probably start talking about the fic
Maybe.
a little bit. Is there any research you did to more accurately describe the American youth?
Not really.
No?
I kind of made it up a lot as I went.
Well, some of that stuff is kind of accurate.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate.
So I've had an older sister, and we've had a few fights, so I know how that goes. A few arguments, a few disagreements of just pointless shit, of just, why are you messing with me? I live with you. Why do you have to be like this? And yeah, we got to an understanding eventually, but there's a time where you're both just stupid teenagers and just try to piss each other off as much as possible, and yeah, a bit of that definitely went into it.
Yeah, I mean, I know with my brothers, there's like a point in my life, it's like, man, I fucking hate you too. But now whenever I'm around them, it's like, this is nice. This is a good time. Now we like each other. We don't have to pretend to get along because we don't live together anymore.
Yeah.
Every interaction is by choice now, which is wonderful.
It takes a lot of energy out of it.
Yeah, you can exist in your own way.
Yeah, so I played the epilogue and really went word for word on like most of the things. I still took a few liberties, but one example of something that nobody has spotted so far is I made Trevor hate tomatoes because of the add-on working at Mo's mod. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I think Mo Job.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the details was he asked for no tomatoes. Add-on puts tomatoes in anyway, and they all have a meltdown. And it was pretty funny. So that kind of went in. That's one of the things I remembered. I also played the murder mystery mod with like Riley and took a lot of inspiration of like his word choice, of the way he talks, the way he like thinks, of just how he puts things together and then voices them. I took a few notes on that, and then I just went, okay, what is a story I want to tell? Okay, this character works for this interaction. I can have this character do that, and then suddenly I have multiple days of interactions and things that happen, and yeah.
Many days. I got to the chapter left off on was like Anna asking, "Hey Riley, you want to commit a crime?"
Oh yeah, that.
Which within our code, that's not explicitly a crime. Watching a movie that's rated too highly for you.
I mean,
That's here
technically-
though.
I'm not exactly sure on the laws, so I just kind of made up some bullshit. I
Yeah.
remember we once were in like class at like school, and we wanted to watch a movie that was rated 16. There was one girl that was still 15, and of course she had to say, "Well, I'm still 15. Are we allowed to watch?" And every single person went, "Why you shut up?" And then we didn't watch the movie, and we watched some horrible comedy, and I wanted to die because no phones, obviously, no phones allowed, and I had to like actually semi pay attention because the movie was so painfully unfunny. And everyone was happy when the lesson was over. That was definitely one of the moments of school that will stick with me forever because that was so excruciatingly painful. Watching her raise her hand and then say, "Well, I'm still 15," and I'm just like, "No, why don't you shut up? Come on!"
I want to watch Gladiator.
Well, it wasn't that, but I don't remember what you originally wanted to watch. Just something actually good, and
And then that
watch some
Hercules, the movie.
painful by the numbers comedy is just made for tax reasons, and it was horrible, and it was
You
boring
watch
and it
comedies
was
made for
unfunny.
tax reasons?
That's what it felt like a movie that nobody would walk out of the cinema and go, "That was a good movie," or the makers would be proud of it. It was just slop, like just the least amount of product necessary to be a product. It was horrible. Anyways,
I mean, I'm a fan of some fucking sloppy movies. I have a
it was
copy
not the. It wasn't so bad. It was funny. It was just shit.
I
It
have
was
a copy
just
of
terrible.
Morbius on my desk.
Oh my god.
I watched that last weekend. I own that copy of Morbius, by the way. I didn't borrow it.
I mean, you can watch a really, really, really bad movie for fun. If a movie is just bad and
If
not
it's
really,
mediocre,
really, really bad,
there's no
it is
real
just
good.
painful.
It's just mediocre.
Not even mediocre. It was just terrible. But not terrible enough to laugh at the movie.
It's not even good enough for background noise.
No.
And they made you focus on it.
Yes.
You think it was that 15-year-old's favorite movie or something?
No, it wasn't her movie. Like the teacher provided like multiple movies and said, "Well, it's the end of the year. Do you want to watch a movie before Christmas?" And everyone's like, "Yay!" And then it was just a shit movie. And everyone hated the teacher after that because she didn't say, "Ah, well, fuck it. I don't know. We'll watch the 16. I don't care."
Should have just watched the fucking Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yeah, we should have. We actually watched that in. I actually need to look up what that subject is called in English.
If you wanna enjoy a fucking good Christmas movie,
Geography. We watched that in geography
why would you watch that in fucking geography?
because our geography teacher gave like half a shit of actually teaching us. Like half the time we were just fucking around.
Yeah, I can see that. All the math teachers here are hard asses. Well, to the guys, they're all female math teachers where I was, and just like they hated the men for whatever reason. I listen. About the worst I did was I fell asleep in class one time. But like the girls got preferential treatment, whatever. I did my work, I did my tests, I got them in, I passed. That's all that matters. There's a reason why, even though my job currently takes a decent amount of math skill, I didn't do well in math classes in high school. It's because they wouldn't teach
As
me.
soon as you start introducing the goddamn letters, I thought math was just over. It was pointless from there on. Like a few of those are helpful, but most of these are just math for math's sake, which doesn't help you whatsoever. Because if you go to physics, you actually have something tangible you can like imagine. If it's just numbers that exist for no reason, that's not fun,
Well,
and
I
it's
mean,
not
I used
rewarding, and you have
trigonometry
nowhere
at-
to use this outside of math class. If you're like physics, you could theoretically do rocket science. We tried that, we failed it, so we took an easier subject.
I'm a plumber. I
Yeah.
need to do trigonometry constantly.
Yeah, that's
It
helpful.
wasn't explained very well at all, by the way, initially. When I was in high school for math class, it was not explained well, trigonometry. Then I get into the apprenticeship training, and it's explained this is the easiest thing in the world, man. You do this and you do this. Oh, look, you're done.
Wow.
Wow. All it took
Leave it
was
to-
a 50-year-old dude in overalls who was smoking goddamn Newports just 5 seconds ago to explain it to me in a way I could understand.
It's almost like it's
Godspeed,
mostly the
Gump.
teacher's fault. People can understand things if you teach it in a way that's understandable.
This guy is just the fucking mark of the hillbilly, and he explained it in the most understandable way in the world. I'm just like, finally, fucking thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is a hillbilly.
Yeah, because they know the parts you don't need, so they just leave those out and only tell you what you need, and then you can understand it. Like
Streamlined.
math up to like ninth grade for us was like the useful part. After that, it was just bullshit. It was just bullshit.
Yeah, well, I mean, what does a dude need to know to get through his everyday life?
Not that
Basic
much.
arithmetic, some multiplication, division, geometry
Volume.
can help depending on your job. Like if you're designing fence posts or something for a farm,
Volume
yeah,
and
it'll help you
geometry.
figure out how to fucking get your perimeter done. And in my
Yeah.
case, trigonometry. Algebra
And
isn't
that
very
was
useful,
it.
actually. Algebra is math for math's sake.
Yes, and that was literally math from like 10th grade until I finished. And it was painful, and it was boring, and it was unnecessary. Just completely useless shit.
Dog, I transferred
Yeah,
out of
you
the
need this
regular
for a
math.
mathematician's college. I'm like, I A, don't want to go to college. B, I don't have any intention of going to college for math reasons. So fuck off. And I was forced to be there for years. That was like everything past grade 9 was just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like most of it. English, we didn't even like learn English. People were just grammatically completely wrong, pronouncing everything completely wrong, had no idea what the past tense is or what the present tense is. And then we just basically did the exact same shit as we did in German class, just in a different language. We analyzed books, poems, and wrote letters. Like, this is goo goo gaga shit. This sounds a little petty, but my 8th grade teacher told me your English is good enough for the UK A levels, which is like their high school diploma. And I was like, okay, cool. Why am I forced to be here if I'm that much better than all these shits
I will
combined? I was
state
like,
that your accent is very hard to find.
yeah, I watched a lot of YouTube, so I have a few of anywhere really.
You sound close
So
to a native
I
English
could
speaker.
literally go any direction I want.
There's been like 5 words that like really display your accent.
Which ones?
I'm not telling.
God damn it. God damn it.
My school tried to put me on the fucking here, have 4 math credits, and I was like, no, I'll do 3, and I'll take an extra art class in senior year. And then all the art classes filled up. I'm like, damn it, well, shit, I guess I'm doing a math credit. And then they come at me like, all right, do the extra advanced. I'm like, no, I don't even want to do math. Put me in the business math class. Which business math is designed just to get people 2-3 credits, just so they can graduate high school.
Damn.
And I took that class after I was already set to graduate.
That's stupid.
I had the school won't let you leave early, so you just have to be there and it's just like take an easy class, I guess. So I have 4 full math credits that I don't need.
Damn. What's the sort of math you do at Riley's age, which I would guess at around 13 to 14?
That would
what
be
sort of math do you do at that age in America?
Algebra at that point.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
So it's over with the Google Gaga shit.
Yeah, we have an extra year of algebra, and then we do a geometry, then algebra 2.
Ooh, geometry. Okay,
algebra 2 turns into it takes other forms of math into it. So that's where the trig gets in initially. Geometry is easy.
I'll have to. It's
You're
actually a
gonna
good
have to
thing.
research math.
Do you know TJ?
I do not know TJ.
Okay. He's a high school teacher, so I could literally just ask him, what do you do with people in that age for that subject, roughly? And then I can just have add-on help the kids with the school subjects. I could just easily do that.
13, I believe, is before, I think that's 8th grade, 8th grade, which is before freshman year of high school.
Yeah. Which makes sense why Riley is not at the same school as Trish.
Yeah, he's a middle schooler.
Yeah. Because I think I actually need to replay it for the exact details, but I do remember Trish being the only one that her mother could afford. I think she's explicitly mentioned solo. The dad is never mentioned. which is where the fandom got their whole lives alone at home with her mom and her siblings, and where they got that from. And yeah, that Trish is the only one she could afford to send to a proper school. Randomly sent me a picture of Stella. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that happens.
Okay.
There's a timer, and it's just like it's like an IV drip.
Okay. Anyways, we've been talking about random nonsense for I think most of the time, so let's actually just return to the fix. So I've written. What the hell was that? Something just went clank behind my desk. Hang on. Found it was a spare keyring that just fell off my desk. That was on the edge somewhere, and I think it just randomly fell. Anyways,
Gabe Gator, my good buddy. I think we've just expressed that we're 1 to 2 years ahead of the normal EU curriculum. And
yeah,
also, your grades work differently. They're at different ages for you, aren't they?
Slightly. We didn't get into like complex mathematics, like I'd call it nonsensical math because I don't remember the terms. It's been too long since I've been in math class. We start with those somewhere during the 9th grade. I think it was the second half of the year where we really started getting into it. Before that, it was mostly like logical math you could actually use.
Yeah, we start getting into the nonsense when we're 12 or 13. Some as low as 11.
We actually did taxes in 8th grade. It wasn't very interesting, but also not completely shit. Which was kind of amazing.
Your tax code makes it so that you just have to check the government's work.
Yes. That's all we do.
Gabe,
it's very nice. And
we have no 5th year of high school.
Yeah. We also don't have a 3-tier system because you have what's the lowest?
Elementary, then middle,
elementary,
then high school.
Middle,
but
high.
Middle
Yeah,
school is
we
starting
just
to get
have
kind of
elementary and
phased
high
out
school.
and just thrown as part of elementary.
Okay.
Well, it's just because we have some places have like a really large volume to where the elementary school can't hold all of the years, and like there's too much cross contamination of people staying the same, and so there's just like a buffer zone to teach them how to start being more like adults before high school, where they're treated, or they should be treated like adults. Yeah, you're a student here. Yeah, you have to like behave yourself, but you're more or less an adult.
Yeah.
And then we have college, which, I mean,
Yeah, college for Americans is usually the next thing. Usually? That's what I'd say.
College, I say, is a racket. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that one.
Yeah, I haven't been to America, so I can't really judge that. It's just in Germany, you can really do whatever you want. You can immediately start working. You could start work education. You could go to college, you could go to your universities, you can do basically anything you want. You can go into any direction if you have the degrees. And if you don't have the degrees, they have waiting lists. They just put you on the end, and if enough people jump off, they put you in, even if you're not technically qualified, which is pretty cool. And if your grades are really bad, then you just have like 2 waiting years where they put you in, and if they have like a lot of slots, they just slot you in. So if you had like a, let's say, terrible language problem that really messed with your grades, but you had like French and English and you both suck at those, and then your like average grade is like ass, even though the other subjects are good, you can just be put on a waiting list. You could work something for like 1 or 2 years, and then you can do whatever the hell you actually wanted to do, which is a pretty nice system.
I mean,
yeah.
Technically, if you can get hired on somewhere, as long as it's done like for law or being a medical doctor, you can do whatever you want right out of high school.
Yeah, but we have a lot of...
most of the time, you have to get lucky. College is there to help you build connections, actually. That's what it really does for people who can actually utilize their degrees. It builds connections so you can get hired right after college and get fucking working in a high-paid field. Or people could do what I did and just join their local union and have work call for you.
Hey. Yeah. It's convenient. You don't have to go running for jobs.
Yeah, I did one interview. I haven't done an interview in years. Or a job interview. I mean, I've been doing these for the last few months.
Well, I'm still my first employer. Well, technically second. I delivered newspapers in high school, but I'd say first proper one. Because delivering newspapers was literally, here's a map, these are the houses you need to go to, have fun. And yeah, I was just listening to music and podcasts and was delivering newspapers, and I made $140 a month, which is pretty fucking good for twice a week for like 120 newspapers ish. I had like this wagon. I went one trip for the first half, then I came back, then I went down the second street. Because I was lucky enough that my part was like one loop. I could do one loop, then go back, and then go into the other direction and finish up, which was awesome. Because I finished up literally right across my house. So I delivered 140 newspapers in pretty much exactly an hour.
Hell yeah.
I was
made to do... Paperboy routes are for like 10-year-olds here, and they don't really exist anymore.
Damn.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I kind
of...
of...
It's because we can't trust our populace anymore.
Mm.
It's just...
They get stolen?
No, the children get stolen.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I stopped the newspapers.
What do you think milk carton kids were?
Mostly newspaper kids.
A lot of newspaper kids are kids who are just waiting for the bus stop. That's why we're so paranoid with our children here.
Yeah.
That's why we have some of the least free children in the world. It's not very nice. It's not a comfortable thought. But alas,
yeah, we've gone into a random tangent again. Sorry. It's just kind of easy to get distracted.
My power. I'm always distracted.
The ADHD is strong with this one.
I'd say we're still mostly on topic because we're talking about life experiences of you, the author.
Depends. Yeah. So currently AL3, I've got 4 different fics in the works. Well, not in the works. One is finished. One was a one shot. I just had this like itch in the back of my brain. I was like, I want to write that. And then I wrote it in like 2 sittings, and then I posted it. And in hindsight, I should have definitely qualityed it up a bit because it is quite rough. But the idea is well executed. I got fan art from Major Quigley, and that's about that's pretty good. So that fic is Slip of the Finger. It is E1, but Naomi manages to fight off Fang and accidentally kills her, and just like the aftermath of it in like 3 moments. And I've been getting hounded to make it a time travel fix it fic. I was like, no, stop asking. I can see it. I can see a few moments of it, but I don't have like enough to work with. Because it's just trope. Beating a dead horse, like the trope of someone from E1 getting sent back in time. Like, okay, it has been done. I would do nothing like really original with it. And it's just... I can see it working, but no, I don't have the interest to really follow through on it. So it was Slip of the Finger was Naomi chilling in the bathroom, Fang showing up, Fang dying, and then the police arriving. Then it was Naomi going to Fang's grave, talking with the grave a bit, and then Naomi trying to hang herself, failing, and then Nazar calls like just at the right moment. The hook snapping was actually kind of based on something that happened to me. Back when I was a very dumb kid, we had this like hook in the basement and like a boxing bag, and I used to, punch it a bit. And then one day I kind of tripped and like put my full weight on it because I like grabbed onto it, and then the entire thing came crashing down because the hook snapped. And that's kind of the idea of how that happened. It was just the hook snapped, and that was how I would say it's kind of believable if you put enough weight on it. Those are not designed to have more than the boxing bag hanging from it. So if you hang like a full person from it, which is like maybe twice the weight of the bag, that thing is going to fall. Yeah, and it happened. Then the next easy fic, I could do an elevator pitch for that one actually. It was just the snootcast gets high as hell on Carfe, and they trip so hard they're imagining that they're in the game, and the game's Left 4 Dead, so they're fighting zombies. Right now we're on chapter 2. We're still looking for a third writer because I just wanted to write one campaign. I've technically pre-written the VVD campaign already. because there was just people every now and then talking about the gang playing Left 4 Dead, because there's a few models on the Left 4 Dead workshop where you can put the Snootcast, like PS1 poly look, into the game, and then you can play. And you can also do that to a few enemies, like for example me as the Charger. And that was just kind of...
They have GVHL as a bloater.
We're a bit flexible. Depending on the campaign, the specials get replaced. So for example, the Boomer for the Wani crew is going to be the fucking fighting game guy. I think it was Buster or Nuts. Buster. And the Smoker is going to be Liz. She like shoots at her neck and then bites on you and like drags you away.
Hey, do you know why?
And that was just basically there was this discussion in Tori game, and I was like, "Do you want to write this?" Just as a joke, I asked Arnold. He's like, "Nah." And then I said, "All right, I'm just gonna open the board, see who's down," and then then people really wanted it, and yeah, we've been a bit more active, but right now it's kind of on hiatus because I'm waiting for Fizz. Because the original idea was 5 levels per campaign, 3 campaigns, 15 chapters, 1 prologue, 1 epilogue. And, well, Fizz is kind of not writing his side, which is Naomi, Nazar, Reed, and Stella. This is somewhere after EU4 for both Wani and Snoot. This is, I think, right after the summer where Inko and Olivia like finish up their high school. Like right around that time, and so in the middle of Anon going to college. And Fang like being a teacher trainer. Rosa and Stella are just roommates. They moved together. Rosa's already working in our flower shop, which she's gonna eventually take over. And Stella is just like chilling, working in a manga store. Like, just something.
Living her life.
Naomi and Nazar are still broken up. But I'm not exactly sure where Fizz was going to take those two, because they're in the Left 4 Dead 2 Carnival campaign. There's a ton of love, and maybe there might be some... Well, he joked to me he was going to write a smut chapter. I was like, it's your campaign. You write it, not me. If you want to do smut, sure. So that's going to be hilarious when it happens.
Sorry, another glucose drip came in.
More Stella.
Yeah, more Stella.
Yeah. So 3 campaigns, 5 levels each. 1 level is 1 chapter. And we're just going to have a few character interactions. The Wani campaign is the No Mercy campaign. And Ben has been on a new antipsychotic medication, which makes him act a little weird. And when he takes some painkillers, he's going to go completely off the rails. And chapter 4 is basically going to be almost completely incomprehensible of what's actually going on, because we're just in Ben's head and he's just acting completely random, just doing things, and it's like very difficult to follow. It's going to be very fun to write, but I'm not there yet because I'm busy IRL. But that was just something to write on the side to practice a few character interactions with multiple people, character reactions, like pacing. Because if you describe like an interaction between 2 characters, it's relatively easy, but the more characters you introduce, the more difficult it gets.
There is a question from the audience here, and it's if you have ever considered writing closer to home, a German version of Snoop, for instance.
I've been dabbling with just making the German translation, but I've just not had really the interest. Like, I could do that, but I kind of also don't want to.
No, like make the saurian species exist in like just regular Germany. Not necessarily translating the existing word.
Not very interesting where I live. I live basically in the middle of nowhere, so there's not too much going on here. If I'd be living in like a bigger city, I could maybe have some interesting things. It's just, I don't really have anything, really.
I'm trying to remember.
That I could just...
my family had a German exchange student stay for a year. I'm trying to remember what city she was from. It wasn't super big, but it was like medium sized. There was stuff going on there.
Yeah.
It's been
There's a lot of medium-sized cities.
Been a few years since I talked to her about that specific city. She's currently in Boston.
Boston, yeah.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Nah.
Oh, I'm gonna dump some beans into the arbor.
I need to watch Good Will Hunting. Absolutely need to watch that eventually. Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Oh, my cat wants to leave my room. Give me a moment.
You always run away from all your friends, kitty.
Alright. Cat has been ejected from my room. We're good.
I keep my door open so my cats can come and go. I don't know where they currently are. I think they're under the couch. They do that. I have two baby kittens, two little 2-month-old cats.
Nice. We've had these cats for... Oof. How long have we had those cats? I think 8 years now. They're sister and a brother, and every now and then they fight, but usually he's mostly outside, she's mostly inside, just chilling. Just sitting on the sofa, not really doing anything. But somehow it's always her that drags the mice and birds and random small animals to like our front door and puts them on like the mat. And every time we go outside, we have to check that we don't step in some animal corpse, which is kind of hilarious because he's always outside, but she's the one dragging all the dead animals to us. She's like the more efficient hunter, and he's just out doing whatever the hell he does.
My kittens
sometimes
are
he doesn't show up,
so they're constantly just getting bigger.
Yeah, they do that
like
when
teenage
when
cats,
they were growing up.
basically. So this one's getting closer to full size. I have my black cat Arsenic in my hands, and Strickanian is just around my desk. It looks like right now, staring at me. Yes, I named them both after fairly uncommon poisons.
That's fun.
Yeah.
They already had names when we got them, and they would not pick up new ones, so we're kind of stuck with Trudy and Baloo.
Cats don't really pick up names here. It's just like, you're a cat.
Meow.
Meow, bitch.
Meow, bitch. Time for dinner. And they're like, nah, I'm not hungry. And then an hour later, they're all up in you.
Liver. These are some very nice creatures I have. And the black one's very friendly. She's doing mantis sticks right now. Anyway, back on fucking topic. Yet another distraction has occurred.
Yes. I just randomly thought of that piece of art where Mango is like the dinosaur and Trish is the pet. I just randomly thought of it. I was like, what could I do with that? Maybe a nightmare. A nightmare that... something like that.
Frankenhouse.
Ooh.
You know, to most people, a lot of people say that your word for hospital is like crazy, but not really. It's literally
it's
two
just the word
words.
for...
Krunken is sick, and house is just
house.
the word for building, house.
Yeah.
It's a sick house.
It's so difficult. It's a sick house.
Listen,
End of
everybody else
discussion.
is like hospital, hospitale, hospital. No, it's Krunken house.
I mean, if you pronounce it stupid, of course it's going to sound stupid.
But if it comes up in regular conversation, Krunken house.
Krankenhaus.
Alright, cool, it's a German word.
It's a word. End of discussion.
Yeah, it makes sense. Krunken is sick. House is house.
And house. Put
It's a
them
sick
together.
house.
It's a house of the sick.
Yeah. I mean, it makes more sense.
German's
for
not
your
very
system.
complicated. I prefer writing in German, but I prefer speaking in English because in English there's a few, let's call them chunks, that do not change around. They're like order, so you can't trip over your words. In German, you can seriously order it basically in any way you want.
English is
so sometimes when you're speaking and you have to be very careful with your wording, you have to put the first word into the right tense, the second word, the third word, and then order them correctly. In English, it's kind of more like
is it in the right order?
a bunch of phrases you stick together to make the sentence, which is easier to say while you don't exactly know where you're going.
You can speak Latin in any order you want, as long as you have the right declensions.
Yeah, that would fuck me over. Like,
Dog.
I've had Latin class, and like it is painful when you translate word for word, and then the last word makes the entire sentence make sense, and then you still have to restructure it to actually make sense in the German grammar, which was painful. I would have originally I wanted to have French in my school, but the French course was full, so I had to take Latin. Latin teacher was dickhead. I would literally punch him in the face if he would be sitting in front of me right now, because he would drive me up the wall. He was just impossible to work with.
My Latin professor was actually a history professor, and he was actually a college professor who came to the high school to teach. And the reason he was able to do that is because he was using us as quote unquote research subjects. So I just had to get a paper signed, turn it back in. All right, we're good to go. And he was a fucking good teacher. I'm gonna be honest. He was a really good teacher. It's just his purpose wasn't to teach us Latin necessarily. It was to research us learning Latin, so he could write a paper on how to more efficiently teach high schoolers, or how he could write a book on it. Because that's what his research was researching how to teach more efficiently.
That's cool.
Yeah, but he's probably one of the best teachers I ever had. Just because his focus wasn't necessarily the curriculum, but making sure that we were learning better.
That's admirable. Even if you kind of get degraded into being a test subject.
We weren't degraded. Like, he was out there and like, hey, the reason I get to do this is because you're technically guinea pigs. Sign the paper. Come back.
Yeah.
Hold on, the gear wants something. There's one person in chat right now.
I think we've talked like half an hour about the fix. Like, in general.
Oops.
Oopsie.
Time went by, hasn't it?
Yeah, I do that too. I just go into random tangents as well. For like small details of how I got this one info, of what inspired this one word, and it's just bleh.
The main purpose of this is, of course, to be entertaining. So, if we're entertaining people, that's gonna make me happiest.
Hopefully.
Everything else is just a bonus, since we didn't have notes here today.
That's true. You got up to chapter 5, correct?
Yes.
There he is. So, what did you think so far?
I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm very impressed with the fact that you're writing stuff like how actual Hoodspeak is. You get what I mean by that, right?
I did watch a bit of Boondocks, yeah.
You're shockingly accurate with a lot of that. That conversation with Truckus outside, hell yeah. I've walked through a ghetto and heard that exact conversation play out, I swear.
I was just making shit up as I went. I was like, what's the worst he could say now? Yes, let's make him say that. And that was just the entire conversation. I was cackling writing that. That shit was fun.
You got a little smile out of my face, I will admit.
I'll take it.
I really enjoyed that. I like the detail they put on that they turned on the vacuum to help mimic the youth of him, too.
Like,
to
mask
help
the voice.
Mask his voice a little bit.
Yeah.
Somebody is speaking in abbreviation. Someone is speaking in abbreviation. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to the chat too as it moves. I have my eyes doing what's the opposite of being cross-eyed? Just pointing off in two different directions on both my screens.
What?
I'm paying attention to the chat.
You've got your attention split. I think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's not called being cross-eyed. Like the opposite of being cross-eyed. I genuinely went like, huh? What do you want from me right now? What are you
your eyes go inward. Like they're going outward from each other.
Opposite of cross-eyed. I'm just gonna Google that.
There are some incomprehensible words being shown in chat today.
Exotropia.
What?
Exotropia.
Exotropia? Huh.
I searched up opposite of cross-eyed, and then it gave me, what is exotropia? Exotropia is a form of strabismus, eye misalignment, in which one or both of the eyes turn outward. It is the opposite of crossed eyes or esotropia.
I can turn that audio off. And so I'm also harassing my cat, so that's 3 objects of attention.
Hmm.
Listen, if you can't harass your cat, is it even your cat?
I could totally go harass my cat right now, but then I'd have to leave the interview table, and I don't think that's productive. Yeah, anyways. While I was writing... Actually, shit, I don't want to spoiler you. Damn. You could just ask me a few things.
No. If you have something to say it. I'll read it regardless. It's about the journey, not the destination in this case.
Damn. So I wrote basically... I pre-wrote basically everything I wanted to happen up until Trish comes back. That would be Arc 1. And my estimation is we're roughly 4 to 5, maybe 6 chapters away from that. Yeah, Fang's been locking themselves in their room, and not taking the fall of Trish too well, for a reason I think you can guess.
Yeah, that really probably tapped into her sense of mortality.
Not exactly.
I mean, that's what happens whenever a man's dad dies, is they get really weird and they understand mortality, that they're going to die someday.
Yes, but that's not what I wanted to go towards. I was thinking towards Nazar and the falling off the cliffs and all that.
Oh, this is my fault. I should never let you in.
Bruh. Yeah, so Fang's been locking themselves in their room and isn't taking shit too well. And they're gonna come back on Monday and not gonna have a good time. Right now in the fic we're on Sunday, where a big talk happens. I don't want to spoil it too much. And then Monday, Anon's gonna shove the rooftop scene a bit forward, but Nazar's also gonna be there. Fang's gonna be on a lot better standing afterwards with Nazar. They're gonna really make up for lost time. And basically, I thought, okay, Trish absolutely hates Anon, like from day one, just because she's a racist piece of shit. And it's kind of funny. I don't even like Trish, and I'm writing a Trish fic. Go figure. Because it's fun. It's fun writing a character that's a piece of shit. And Trish definitely was that. So chapter 1 was obviously from Trish's view. And from chapter 2, we're in Anon's head. And when Trish comes back, we're back in her head. So that's going to be really fun. And one of the key things for her to actually start accepting Anon was, in my opinion, that Anon genuinely makes everything better he touches. Like, the family is going to be in a way better spot after he's been babysitting them for a while. They're going to really start behaving. They're going to go stop annoying Trish as much. And Fang has been reconnecting with her brother, just in general, just way happier. Just Trish kind of self-doubting herself. Like, damn, I've been gone for 2 weeks and Anon's like absolutely changed so much. And she has like no ammunition to use against him. Like nothing. Because he was, kind of forced to go babysit the kids because I flushed his food money down a literal drain. And yeah, he's kind of broke right now.
Damn it! It's just like, yeah, I could feel that emotion. That's a very real emotion for me because I have dropped a lot of money into a fucking drain before. Now I didn't give up. I opened the manhole cover and got it.
I mean, yeah, if you have it, okay. Anon kind of couldn't.
Well, I mean, it's part of my job anyway.
Yeah, you kind of know how to do it. Of course.
Well, also, I think the American version of a manhole cover is just like easier to take off anyway. For the sidewalk covers specifically.
I can't comment on that. I was thinking more of a rain drain from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, not far from
that sort of rain hole.
There should be a manhole cover.
Yeah, but Anon's dumb, so he doesn't know how to get in there. The money is gone.
Have a fucking strong enough stick to lift it up. So basically, I usually have like if you have like a pry bar or a crowbar or something, you can get
You can just lift it
over. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're heavy. Like the actual thing, it's like 120 pounds of iron.
Yeah, it's not supposed to go anywhere, no matter what stands on it.
Well, It's not supposed to be lifted up by wind. Also, my cat has embedded herself into my arm. Ah. They just want to
Little
climb me.
snuggles. Hmm?
They just want to climb me. Ouch.
Damn.
They don't realize that they're getting big now.
They're still playing like they're small, but they can hurt you now.
Yeah, they have the big old claws now. When
Damn.
I got them, they were so shaky. And now they're just kind of hanging out, and they're like mostly full-size cats. And there they go behind the monitor. Alright, well, I hope they don't unplug my monitor.
That'd be stupid.
Dumber things happen. I got a notification that's, oh, hello, you're coming under. I got a notification that's Fibonacci Day.
That accidentally closed Discord. Hello?
No, he's dead.
Oh yeah, I'm still here. More Stella.
Yeah. I like Stella. How would you tell?
It's almost like you like Stella.
An astute observation. Clearly I show no signs of it outward.
Discord status, I like Stego's Discord banner. Sitting next to Stego on a bench. Constantly posting Stella. I wonder who he could like.
I wonder what his favorite creature could be.
Well, I've got one of the most stupid ones. I've got my own dino waifu, if you're being like that, if at all. I don't, follow the Boru for every piece of art. I don't read all the fics, stuff like that. It was, it kind of started with one of Ace's fics, and I have to admit, I like Bianca. I'm sorry, I like Bianca.
I could probably go grab Ace. I could probably get him in here.
Seriously?
Yeah, maybe.
Let me just quickly go get the guy.
Message.
I read the fic and I was just like, I want to protect. that instinct activated. I was like, yes. Like Fang off the market. She's got Anon. Liz obviously off the market. Olivia obviously off the market. Bianca, because her fan game isn't out yet. Obviously, we only got the fan canon so far.
I really like. Well, Ace is now officially on that project.
Yes, I'm excited to see where that goes.
Ace is now dropping in a moment.
Cool. I think the very first thing I saw was that fucking Peaky Blinders meme of Bianca walking and screaming into the fog with a pistol. I was like, who the fuck is this? And then I read the fic, I was like, wait, is that the same dino? That was the first thing I saw.
Fantastic. Let me... I need to turn on streamer mode. Add roll. Yeah, he counts as one.
Yeah. I've also been called the Hope of Trish fans because I don't write racist shit and I don't write smut.
I mean, I'm not a huge schmuck guy either, really. I do have a blacklist for people who are never allowed in here. You want to guess who's at the top of that?
Goid.
Yeah.
Obviously. I just see the titles and the tags, so I'm like, I'm not touching that. Nope. I do not want to know what's in there. Oh.
Listen, just by the smell of rotten eggs coming off of this, I can only assume sewage is in there.
I don't want to know, and I'm happy that I don't know.
Hello, Ace.
Hello.
This is another Bonka fan just for you to meet.
Awesome. Well, I've met this guy before.
What?
Yeah, I know you.
We wrote a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but I just
talked
like...
before.
Yeah, sure, but I know of your presence.
Yeah. Is ATB that big?
Sure.
Really?
I don't know.
I think the fic actually has more hits than the Bianca fic before it was abandoned.
If you're talking about, I forgot what it was called, but I think I know what you're writing. Anyway,
That's a fake fan right there. Not knowing Anon, the babysitter.
I mean, yeah,
How much
I
would you
don't,
read of that, if at all?
none. I don't really read.
Yeah.
I've only read one, or I've read a couple, but like after those couple, I stopped reading. Uh, a lot of it was oversaturation on my part. There's a
Yeah.
lot of time travel. I'm getting into semantics. Whatever. Why am I here again?
Oh, because I
I'm
assumed
not
you
sure
wanted to
myself.
Yeah, and now I am.
Cool. This is apparently my interview. We've mostly talked about anything but the fics I've written, so
be. Well,
that's
I don't
fun.
have a Wrangler right now, so you know,
Yeah, we go into
This
random
was-
tangents, and then in the middle of it, I'm like, do I want to just cut this short? Is that rude? And I'm like, I don't know.
Mhm.
As long as
Well,
you're
I
willing.
guess.
But
I
yeah,
guess. Do you have any questions for me? I guess is.
I didn't expect you to show up, so I've got nothing.
Okay.
I kind of went into this whole interview blind, and
Everything is blind. It makes people more authentic.
yeah. So yeah, I read fics when I have time. Right now, I have no time, so
Right.
no fic.
I mean,
Ace, what is the best writing advice you can give him?
He hasn't read my fics, so he doesn't know what I'm doing
Well,
wrong.
I mean-
Kind of advice.
well, yeah, just
Okay.
like, well, yeah. The thing about that is like, I don't really, unless someone asks, fucking hell, unless somebody asks for it, I don't typically hand out like advice based on what you're doing or like what you're writing about, because I feel like for the most part, most of that should come from the author themselves. So what I usually do is just give out like general advice, but I mean like general advice. And the most general advice I can give is to just like, if you have the passion for it and you know you do, then I mean, even if it's like 200 words a day, you get something done. You do something with that passion. So like, it's whatever.
Oh.
Kind of like the Stephen King advice, where he just kind of locked himself in a room and wrote every day something.
Right.
Sometimes the best way through a writer's block is brute force your head through a wall until it works.
Yeah. I've yet to really hit that, actually.
I need to do that. I need to fucking write my thing, but I have so many projects I do already.
Yeah, my time was recently a bit killed with a charity event that I was organizing and being like the head admin off, so yeah, I had no
Are
time.
you in a position where you can say what charity?
Wheelchairs for kids. We do a racing game stream and like pretend it's a broadcast. We do a proper like race broadcast, like spectate the cars, show the crashes, commentators, intros, stuff like that.
If I
And
get a link for that, I'd be willing to donate something.
yeah, we do those like 3 to 4 times a year. Last year we did 5 events, which was just way too much, and I had no time for anything else really, because you have to test the track mod, you have to test the car mods, you have to make a balance of performance, you have to get commentators for the dates, you have to get a streamer for the dates. I've got a guy I'm just paying, and that's just working out wonderfully because I pay him and he's there. End of discussion. Yeah, that's been eating my time, and right now I'm like in the middle of preparing for my final work exams, so I can get my like license to work, because I'm working at a relatively important safety job with hundreds of people's lives at stake all the time, and I'm under NDA, so I can't exactly tell you what I do. It's just I'm in the middle of preparing for the final exam, so that, and I really, really, really do not want to fail this. So yeah, when I'm done with all of them and I've passed, then I can write again. And just right now, I'm just in the middle of preparation, so.
Mm.
Long, busy schedule.
Sadly, yes. I've written as much as I could since I started the fix. It's just right now, I've got to shift my priorities, because obviously getting the job is more important right now, so I'm still in training.
Yeah, I understand you there. So you're doing like safety for construction sites?
No, I'm under NDA and I won't tell you what I do.
Ah, the NDA.
The dreaded NDA.
Whenever I have like a gap in history, I just say, "Oh, I'm under an NDA."
Mm.
Under NDA, can't tell you.
They won't ask further. Use that even if you aren't under one. Evil life hacks. If you just want working to say you're under NDA.
Every single time I hear like NDA or say it, I have to think of this stupid meme. Can you explain this gap in your resume? And then just the answer is, can you explain this gap in your teeth? And it's just a motion blur picture of someone punching the camera. It's really silly, but it's very good. I have to think of that every single time and not crack up when I say NDA, because it was like, same question that gets both answers.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Man. I've seen like a few German game shows, and one where it's like people have to separate something perfectly in half by weight. That thing gets fucking intense. And then there's like the
we take the
forklift
silliest
championships.
things as serious as possible. There's also like a fucking German championship for like forklift drivers for precision and speed, and it's like, why A, is this a thing, and why B, is this entertaining? This is actually fucking.
Why don't we have that here? Dog, I know so many people watch the hell out of that.
Yeah. Pay TV over here is like 80% complete and utter garbage, and you feel like you're losing brain cells when you turn on the TV, and then there's like 20% that's actually well made. If you're lucky. And most of the well made stuff is on like 2 channels. So yeah.
Man, it's amazing. I mean, we need 1,000 TV channels, but nothing to watch.
Damn. I genuinely would not buy a TV when I move out. Because right now I'm still living with my parents, because it saves time, it saves effort, it saves money. I have more money in my bank account than I know what to do with, because I haven't moved out and I don't have like big expenses. I buy new shoes when they're needed, I buy new clothes when they're needed, I buy when some electronic breaks, I buy a new one. I mean, I bought my last phone like right at the start of my education. That was like 2.5 years ago at this point. Pretty much on the dot, and it's like, damn. I've got my gaming PC. I've got all I need.
Yeah, you're pretty well set up. I mean, I bought a house.
Nice.
Yeah. But I live in one of the cheaper areas for the country.
Well, houses are pretty expensive here because we don't build them out of paper and wood. We build them out of bricks. You try to punch a hole in the wall here, you're gonna break your fucking hand.
I mean, this is made of plaster. This is an ancient ass house.
Yeah. I realized just how uneducated I was when I was playing like Rainbow Six Siege. I was like, why are we just blowing holes into like walls? This makes no sense. And then I like kind of got into like a rabbit hole. I was like, holy shit, they actually built a house like that? You can actually just shoot through the wall?
There's plenty of brick-built houses, and timber frame houses are made to withstand the stresses of where they're built. Like, plenty of timber frame houses here are built to last through Cat 5 tornadoes and hurricanes. But when these natural disasters occur, they make the area unlivable, so they just make it so it's cheap enough for more people to own houses, to own real estate, and not be stuck waiting for an apartment building to get rebuilt.
Yeah.
It's all about the audience and what resources we have. Germany doesn't have as much forested acreage, just by acreage, number of acres, they don't have as much as we have here. We have so many fucking forests. we
Technically, there's more than enough space for everyone to have a decently sized area to live in. It's just, well,
that would destroy the natural beauty.
We're kind of concentrated in the cities.
Well, Yeah.
And here it's a lot more spread out. It's very nice. But we still have some huge forests.
Well, that's not
Toy to
like
walk
just by
about.
acreage. We
That's
like
about-
150 years ago we started growing forests just to cut down later. You know, just because like we'll have more money later if we grow more forests now,
Yes. That makes sense.
and it's protected against inflation because the cost of wood will go up with inflation. And then somebody's like, "My God, you're a genius." So wait 20 years per tree, constantly be planting trees, so every day there's a tree ready to be cut down, and there's another one planted in its place, so that when you go through the cycle in 20 years, which you constantly have wood to cut down, the new crop will be up.
Yeah.
And that is why we
Because
still have
solid.
timber frame houses, because we constantly have wood.
Pretty foolproof plan. You just need to wait 20 years to like reap the rewards.
Well, you buy what is initially forested wood, right? Trees may not reach their full hardness in 20 years, but they do reach their full size.
That's true.
We still, yeah, timber frame houses are just to make it so that a higher percentage of Americans can afford houses. Because our economy is based on so many things that not everybody can get, like, brick house money. And also, our stone that we would use is radioactive, so, don't want the cancer. By the way, that's real. That limestone produces enough radiation to give you cancer. It puts off radon gas. And there's a system you can do to void it out. Yeah, that's why we don't make stone houses where I live.
Huh.
Because it will kill us. We have
Damn.
to import in bricks from somewhere else. Now, places
That's silly.
eastern United States, they can have brick houses. It's just wherever there's limestone like we are, and people use that for building, well, yeah, if you build like a big outside structure, you're fine. It goes out, but then you trap all the radon gas inside your cellar, and then it seeps up through your floorboards. And that's a whole thing. So if we built our walls out of that shit, we would all have omega cancer. Anyway, back to your fic. Is there anything that you're planning on categorizing for characters? Any fucking bits you're planning on doing?
When Trisha's gonna come back, she will have Anon thrown out of the house. Because, I'm back. I don't need you here anymore. And, yeah, it's gonna blow up in Trish's face so much. It's gonna be so fun. Yes, because he was not, up their asses about everything. Because I'm just kind of let them do their thing, but if they went, too loud, too much, he'd say, all right, that's enough. Like, calm down a little.
Dial it back to a 3.
Yeah, because Anon's like used to screaming kids on the mic, so this is like nothing to him.
I'll put my cat on the mic and it's just fucking screaming meow.
Yeah, that fucking video too.
She wasn't so loud. Stop it. Leave that little guy alone.
Yeah, just in online voice chats for games, like the funniest fucking shit can happen, but also the most cancer shit. So Anon would absolutely just be able to tune out any amount of noise that is not, alarmingly loud. So yeah, that's gonna be fun.
I was also like early on making plans, being like, all right, how do we decrease their sugar consumption? Because that seems to be the one hang up with these two.
Yeah, they're just Tali and Trevor are just complete bundles of energy, and Anon's like, well, let them power themselves out. Easy problem.
And then they
Easy
go
problem.
to the fridge and get the OJ, and then they repower.
Yeah. So Anon's just gonna. Oh. Yeah.
I think
Anyways, those two are gonna get off the sugar and like calm down a little. Chandra and Tali are gonna bury the hatchet because they're just like fighting for no fucking reason all the time. Because Chandra is mostly bored. Chandra, because Tali is mostly bored. Sorry, Tana was the young one a minute ago. Anyways, I made Chandra the most reasonable one, but she's just constantly set off by Tali, and that's gonna be fun.
Of course, Riley.
The thing is, I need someone for Anon to have like an in. to like connect with someone for a start, and I just chose Chandra because on the phone, doing something, not caring too much, but still caring enough. And that was kind of the starting point. Those two are going to be, best allies for the majority of the fic. Trish is currently in hospital. Reed right now is skipping because he feels like shit for grabbing the bad first aid kit.
Expired first aid kit?
Yes.
That's almost cool for not taking the expired one out.
Yeah, Reed just didn't check the date because panic.
Does he have time to check the date before administering first aid?
No, he didn't check. That's the problem. He also feels bad because he's sure that Trish tripped.
Wouldn't make you ill.
Well, Reed also feels like shit because he thinks Trish tripped over his cable when, Trish kind of wrapped it around her foot and then tripped on it. So, but he thinks that's also his fault for his shit cable management, which is just some funny idea I just randomly picked up on. I was like, wait, cable management. How do I send Trish off the stage? Cable management. Boom. Problem solved. Fang's beating themselves up because they think that this is again their fault if they wouldn't have played the guitar, but yada yada. So that's gonna be a whole bit of fighting between Trisha and Fang because Trish has the sound with the guitar stuck in her head, and she's like, okay, this is better. Who gives a shit about markability? She's gonna drop the double bass, which has been their like shtick for the last. I'm just gonna make shit up a year, and it's just not working. And Fang is now the one unwilling to go to the guitar, so it's a fun reversal of the roles. So I'm gonna mess with that a bit, and I'm also gonna have Trish take a break. Obviously PTSD of staying on stage, falling off. And she's just going to put it down to, well, I'm out of practice. Let me just practice up for a week, and then we'll be good to go. And during that week, Trish actually doesn't practice at all, and she just takes her mind off the things, just gets to grips with what happened, and kind of fully accepts that her horn is, broken, and will take a long time to regrow. It's going to be fun as well to really explore that, to having to come to grips with people, recognizing that you lost a horn, which is... I'm still finalizing the details, but it's going to be like a significant thing for Triceratops to have their horns in good shape because of the whole, let's just put it 1700s to 1800s time, where they were sawed off and kept blunt for a good reason, so they couldn't attack their owners that efficiently. And that's going to be a very uncomfortable topic to write about, but it's still going to be, a thing that's going to get brought up. Because Trish obviously feels like shit for losing a horn.
I mean, that is... There's some of the fucking gross that you went with that, too. Just being like, that is a fleshy mass under that. Outstanding, by the way. Just outstanding. Oh, for, the bony core of the horn. You were saying, where it broke off, it was just, soft and squishy inside. Outstanding, yeah. I find. I like... Now, just my upbringing makes me less susceptible to gross out, being like, but outstandingly described. I really appreciate that you're using the biology of these creatures in an interesting way that a lot of people don't do. Yeah, a lot of the times, a lot of the fics, people, kind of forget that they have a different physiology and that you need to keep that in mind. A lot of times, it's for example, it would be awkward hugging someone if they have an extra shoe length bit of their face sticking out, so you have to kind of go around and then you can go in for the hug. Andrew Tate just sent me a fucking Discord notification. Is that actually Reed?
That is Reed.
That is Reed. All right, cool. Sorry, he's doing bits.
Anyways, Ace, we can hear that.
My bad.
Yeah. When Ace is here, might as well ask you, what were the plans before you were brought onto the mod project? What were the plans for the fic, for the Bianca fic? Where were you going?
See, I actually chose and will continue to choose to keep that a secret.
Because it might or might not go into the mod?
No. I'll stomp that out right now. I'll tell you, the only thing that you could maybe expect that could be in the mod that I can say is maybe it'll give you just like the tiniest glimpse into what you can expect from some characters. Um, but other than that, no, like nearly nothing in the fic is going to go into the mod. The reason why I say that is because I've had a few people come up to me, and I'd never thought of this before, but I've had a few people come up to me and ask if, because I have it on hand, they've asked me if uh, they could take a shot at finishing what I didn't. And originally, I thought it was fine, but then I continued to think about it, and I didn't say yes off the rip because even though I thought it was fine, I felt like I would doubt it later, and I did. And the main reason for that is because like there's a there's a sense of there's an odd sense of accomplishment despite it not being completed. Um, Additionally, like while I'm sure there's a bunch of talented and skilled writers out there who could finish what I had in mind, I feel like the authenticity of only me doing it, since it's something that I made, would get it flowing in the way that I really wanted it to. And the idea of handing that over to anybody, I don't want to say felt wrong, but it just came down to a matter of like it didn't feel authentic to myself. Not the kind of person that I would be.
You would lose your
Um,
vision as the one who started it.
right. Additionally, it's also just like, and the reason why I don't want to spill is because like I don't want that to happen, and because like I'll keep some mystery to it. If you were, and I'm not saying like anyone's like dumb or whatever, but if you were really engaged, you could probably fill in the gaps of what was gonna happen later down the road anyway.
Don't make visits to the friends that made along the ways. Don't do that. I want my fucking gold.
Oh well. Make your own.
Yeah, and you know what? I have one that I started.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going anywhere. It sat there for months, staring at me. Like the Green Goblin mask, he's just like, when are you gonna finish me? Hey, 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 when are you gonna start doing this again, huh? And I was like, no, I'm busy. Columbo calls. I need to coordinate with the other two on that one. Apparently, somebody was asking for a Columbo fic, and then for whatever reason they thought I wrote it, which no, I did not. I'm just making a mod. The Columbo fic is also the Yandere fic, and it does not exist on AO3. It is in the Snoop Boru. Hidden. It's screenshots of green text. It's reasonably alright. The first two chapters follow Yandere's tale. That guy abandoned it, and then the new guy's like, "Can I have it?" And he said, "Sure, knock yourself out." And then he put Columbo in it.
I mean, why not?
Columbo. I love Columbo. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I love Columbo.
My grandparents watch him all the time. And Monk. They watch Monk too.
Ace knows the degree of what I've done with Columbo.
Oh, God.
He's
Relatively.
witnessed it. Yeah.
Relatively. Not really. I'll be real.
You've seen what I was doing in the VC though.
I didn't.
No, you weren't in there, but you saw the status was always Columbo maxing.
Right, but I was probably out of
100
it.
hours of content, Ace.
I probably had tuned you out, realistically.
$100 of content of Columbo I watched. And I'm gonna start watching it again. I'm gonna rewatch it just to make sure I have all the fucking notes correct, so I can more accurately write Columbo mod. Big adventure, whole big adventure.
But I mean, yeah, that's my whole thing about that. You can read the other ones that I'm currently writing if you want. They won't be everyone's cup of tea though, so
Good. Not everything has to be made for everyone. Sometimes you just need to make what's for you.
Oh yeah, they're for me, but like relatively speaking, like I put them out there mostly just so other eyes could see them. But like I said, I derive my own joy from writing. But there's solace in the fact that not everyone will like what you like, because then it just gives you more freedom to do what you want.
And to go over my chapters like 30 to 40 times before posting, just to make sure they're actually, up to my own standard, which I'd say is unreasonably high, somewhat. And I still miss things. For example, there was a proofreading session I did with Sensei, and
He would have.
in the middle of it, we caught that Anon didn't know Fang's dead name yet, and we were like, wait, let's check if that name ever was said before then, during the point where we're at in the fic, because the fic branches off during the band practice where they try out the guitar, and that's where Trish falls off the stage.
I think we might have slipped it once, partially.
Before that, no. We checked the game's script. We went through all of it. Not before that. And obviously that's one of the things we caught. And then Nazar tells Anon the dead name and all that. So, yeah. That's one of the things caught. Sometimes in the middle of it, I'm like, wait, how was that again? Then I go back to my own fic and I'll reread the part where it happens. And then go, oh yeah, I had that right, I had that wrong. It's just proofreading. And before I start writing, I always go over what I've already written for the chapters so far. Sometimes I delete things, sometimes I only make a comment, sometimes I rewrite entire sections. And sometimes it becomes so much better than before that I just go, damn, that's good.
And now I'm being asked if I've abducted artists to my basement, which, yeah. 100%. They can enjoy the radon gas. I really, I like right after we're done with this, I am gonna finish it. I swear, I'm gonna finish reading your fix.
Okay.
I assure to you.
Just promise me that you won't be mad at me.
I would never be mad at you. I
I
say
promise.
with a 32 in my desk drawer.
Yeah, I promise I'll be ambivalent towards you.
Damn.
I'm a pretty even-tempered person usually.
Well, there were a few people upset with me over something I was gonna write from the start, and yeah.
Unless, okay, so I don't know what it is, and I won't ask because it's not really my place to ask. But I will say, honestly, unless it's like a complete bastardization and a complete leap of logic, I mean, like not everyone is going to be happy with the decisions you make, especially when it comes to writing in the fic format, because like people have their own ideas and like
Expectations.
headcanons, yeah, expectations, headcanons, whatever it may be, of what would happen in X scenario. When the reality is like it's not really their expectations; it's what you're writing about. And like I said, unless it's like some complete bastardization of anything or a stupid leap of logic, it's probably fine. People are gonna be mad, like no matter what you do. So
I mean, yeah, I released one thing out into the ether and I got told immediately to kill myself, so you know. No,
I
really
don't
stupid,
touch
not really stupid.
I don't touch 4chan with a 10-foot pole. That shit just... Nope, I do not want to know what's going on there.
It was not 4chan.
Oh.
It was, I think, Twitter. Now, I thrive on uncomfortable situations, I guess, that you could put it.
Writing them or being in them?
Being in them. it makes you sharper if you're constantly being put in uncomfortable situations.
Hmm.
Makes you stronger at being funny, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I can
but I said
also see where people speak from authenticity with that. Where
said my piece. I will say, due to circumstances that are still currently happening, I am questioning if my position on the Bianca team will last much longer.
oh no,
Creative differences.
I I don't want to air that out. I won't air that
Okay.
out. But just things are in the air right now is what I'll say. If anything does change, I'll make it like public. As to like whether or not I'm still on, because I made it public that I was on, but now it's in the air. So now I'll just say like it's whatever right now.
well, I mean, I hope you get what you want for that. If you want to stay on, I hope you stay on. That's all I can say. You seem like you're a solid dude, Ace.
Thank you.
I wish for you all the treasures in the world.
All right, thank you. I hope your Columbo mod does good.
Oh, it'll be something. I have two very talented writers helping me, so
I see that actually. I've seen that at least. I've seen
so at least in writing quality, it should be pretty alright. I think. I mostly go through, edit it, be like, and talk to, be like, hey, does this fit? This is what I think would actually happen, and then we have a discussion with that. The three of us, whenever there's like a conflict, has been this so far.
But yeah, if nothing else, go read the other things I've made.
Yes, sir. Is there anything else fun we can talk about for 15 minutes before we go on?
Can I take the spotlight for 2 minutes?
You can grab it, I guess, if it's fine with him.
Go read
Yeah,
Peachy
sure.
Promise.
Go ahead.
Go read Peachy Promises and go read Lunar Reflections. That's it. That's all I had.
You want to give your elevator pitch about what they're about?
Peachy Promises is about it's a Naomi X Anon thing, but and I know that scared like literally everyone watching. Uh, but it's not like I promise it's not anything weird. And I promise it doesn't bastardize any of the characters. The major focal point of Peachy Promises is that it's a Naomi who never received a letter and who literally just became the class president. So basically, a Naomi before she became what she was in the events during Snoot Game, and an Anon who starts his senior year at Volcano High rather than halfway through the year, because I believe that's what happens in the original game.
January?
Yeah.
Like through the American school year?
Yeah. So this time around, he starts at the very beginning. He starts a senior at Volcano High, like fairly recently after like the whole doxing thing. What else? Oh yeah, Lunar Reflections. It's a Lunara X Inco thing, and again with the same thing. I'd probably scared everyone, but I promise again that it's not anything weird. It's not like NTR or anything like that.
I've seen some weirder mashups than that.
Well, yeah, but like when people hear Lunara X anybody, it's always some bullshit and I can't even blame them because it's always like that. But yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, I laid the groundwork already for that one. I had to go a little bit more into detail with Peachy Promises because there's more changed with that one. But with Lunar Reflections, the only thing that you can expect is that like I Thanos snapped Olivia out of the story because I feel like when I already have one pairing going on,
If Olivia's there, it just feels inevitable that Olivia gets it.
yeah. Plus, like since obviously we know what Olivia goes through, since they know what Olivia goes through, Oh, and since all of us, fucking hell, since all of us know what Olivia goes through and how like deep her personal issues are, to try and like even half-assedly wrap that up when I'm already dealing with like a main pairing already, it just seems kind of disingenuous to the character, and I don't want to do that. So the easiest option was just writing her out completely.
I do know of a certain Canadian that's probably gonna be very excited for that. You actually no, you know him too. It's Jim.
I'm
It's
very
Jim.
familiar with him. Very familiar with him.
What a guy, you know. He's an interesting fellow. I went through the first 2 Halo campaigns with him on heroic.
Yeah, he's chill.
Yeah, he's fucking. I really like him. He shot his copy of Bonds. He grabbed
He
a
has it.
airsoft gun and shot his copy of Bonds.
He bought a copy to shoot.
Just imagine how that looked. That must have been pretty funny.
No, he saw
funny.
Starman walk in, and then he's like, "Hey, guess what, Chucklefuck?" And he shot his copy of Bonds.
Oh yeah, and I guess I
On
should
camera.
reiterate.
Live or what?
I guess I should reiterate on the whole mod thing that I just mentioned earlier. It's not creative differences. It's again, I won't air it out. But it's not creative differences. It's to put it bluntly, without saying too much, it's about management. It's about management. And I questioned it, and now it led up to me questioning if I want to stay. And again, it's still in the air of whether I will or not. But it's just it's stuff. It's all in the air.
Management is a killer from these mod projects and fan games. That's why we decided on the Columbo thing just to limit it pretty much for who's writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mostly stay out of the writing process except to like check over and make sure, hey, this still fits for a Columbo episode, right?
Right.
And then I give them notes, and that's it. So it's really 2 writers, me managing everything else.
Yeah. Again, I'll probably never air it out because like it
It's sticky.
honestly, yeah. Whether or not I stay or leave, it doesn't really matter. Or those are the only things that do matter if I stay or leave. The yucky parts of it are just like whatever.
If they can deal with it, it's their prerogative to deal with it.
Mm. That's it for me, though.
Yeah. Does anybody want to hear how my fucking list of hopes and dreams works?
It runs on passion, and then when it runs out,
No, for people who I want to
dies.
live on, just to be very transparent. I have a hidden channel in here. That's just a list of people that a bunch of folks just grabbed. And there are a total of 6 other people who have access, and they can put me in rooms with people I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight up. I think Reed added to the list text of the Black Pants Legion
Mm.
as like a really big long shot. Bowie's also on the list, also added by Reed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Would be a nice one.
The Bowie would be fun to have on here, but he just went on the other one.
That is
Give him a
true.
break.
And now like a couple hours after this, I have to go on the round table.
Oh yeah, they're having you for that.
They are.
I'm not an Omega good writer, so I'm whatever.
I mean, you know what? No, I won't. I'll hold my tongue.
Oh, did you just say, yeah, I read your fic, he was a piece of shit?
No, not that way. I was about to join the self-deprecation parade, but nah.
I
I'm not
mean,
here
you
to
earned
do
a spot. You got that chicken dinner.
that. Arguable, but I mean, I'm there.
By the
so
way, Sarge is on the list 3 times.
cool.
Why?
Because he's fucking interesting.
So interesting.
He's just really fucking interesting. There's a sticker about it, actually, if you want to see. Hold on. Let me grab it. Stickers. I have a sticker for it.
Yapping about his setting, listen and learn. That good?
Yeah. It's really fucking good. And then I'll share one more of what's on the list. It's kind of weird. Have you ever heard of Shakespeare Hemingway?
Possibly.
He wrote the Garfield Effect fic in the early days of fan fiction. Never have I suffered that much reading something. I'm gonna be honest. That shit was terrible. If you haven't read it, I do not recommend that you read it. Gonna be honest, don't recommend reading that. Piece of shit fic. Piece of shit. And I won't say that about most things. I'll be like, well, this has its own merits, but that is the worst thing I've ever read. It's barely a peg above Goy. I just want to know what this man's thought process it was, because there's no way it was accidental. I think he did that intentionally, make it that bad. There's no way it's unironic. Because every now and then something came in as like, this seems written oddly well. Suspicious.
He forgot to make it crap.
He forgot, oops. But he's not written a chapter in like half a decade, so who knows if he's still on the internet at all.
That's always a shame when you don't know.
Dog, I have it hanging over my head because it's like he's in the final stretch, right? And I'm like, if he writes another chapter, I have to read it. As per the agreement that I made with Reed, as I have to read it to completion, and it's as far as it is, I've met the goal. But once he releases more, I just have to read it. It's awful. It's terrible. Have you ever thought about writing something that's just purposefully awful to see if it's funny?
Not really. The thought has crossed me, but no. I'd rather write something well.
You don't want to torture the goose?
Nah.
It's such a wild thing. I have all these stickers too. Why do I have so many stickers? Oh, Jam fell asleep. Got that message. Have we ran out of things to talk about?
Well, I don't want to spoiler you about what happens in the next 5 chapters, so kinda.
Fine, I will read it regardless. Oh no, man! Start talking and thieves can't.
What?
Oh yeah.
I was just going,
Not everybody plays D&D.
Played a little bit, but then I DM'd a few times. That was fun. Just one-shots. Relatively short. They player characters fall in a cave, fight a few goblins, and they fight the boss, and that was over.
I don't got the time to write for a D&D setting.
No, it was a prefab. I didn't come up with it completely on my own.
I don't want to do prefabs. It's just not as fun as...
It was a relatively simple one, and which I was kidding. 3 of the 5 characters just took the whip weapon because they thought, that's cool. So they were just whipping the fucking guys to pieces, and it was just kind of funny. Because one of the guys had like a fucking soundboard on his phone open, and every time he attacked, he did the fucking whip crack, the fucking... and eventually it was just fucking attack. And we were just laughing. It was fun.
You know, the Discord soundboard is perfect for somebody who plays Kenku.
Boy, would I!
Somebody has clipping enabled, and they have to mimic, like, use soundboards of what other people say.
Quack.
Quack.
Hey, you know what's even cooler than Triceratops? Every other dinosaur.
Yes, I
Spitting facts.
I have that one. I also have Columbo.
Oh, listen, there's one other thing I wanted to ask you about.
Maybe I should play Kenku, but I have to use Discord clips of the other players. Maybe that would be fun.
Maybe.
All right. Well,
We've reached
Mike?
2 hours.
Yeah, my time here is over. I was happy to be here though for the little time I was.
Yep. Hugs and kisses, Ace.
Bye bye.
Go harass Coca-Cola.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, he's gone. Is there any closing notes you want to do?
If you give me some feedback on the stuff I have so far, that'd be great. Like when you're done.
I will give you feedback. Yes, quite.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I've given you feedback throughout this whole thing. It's just been overshadowed by me yapping about random things.
And me not cutting you off. Because I also wanted to yap about things.
Well, the purpose of my interview is more necessarily to understand you as a person and why you write the way that you do. Because it is my experience that the human condition... Nah. Just the life you've lived will influence what you put out. I'm not going to get all philosophical, not going to get uppity, not going to be, a prick about it. The life you've lived and your experiences will influence what you put out into the world.
Obviously.
It is my experience with the human condition that a human can only write what they know. Or something. Yes, I sniff my own farts in the morning. Just to get a little bit of that good tartness into my diet. Yes, despite the fact that I make a lot of money a year, I still go to the laundromat to gawk at the porers. Or something like that.
I don't know, I've never been to a laundromat.
I use a laundromat to do clothes because I have one down the road and wash and dry is expensive. It's not that I don't have the money to buy it, it's just, it's a moot point when I can just walk over there. It's a block over.
Depends on your situation. If you have like a really, really nice one that's economical, that's fine. I don't know exactly how much it costs, but, I don't live in a city, so
it's like
we kind of need our own because there's no laundromats nearby.
It's $1.25 per load. It's not bad.
It's actually pretty good. Once a week?
Yeah,
maybe 3 washes if you're like a full family.
Once a week, I go over. I have 2 loads of clothes. I'm in and out there for $10 max because I also usually get like sodas while I'm there. That's basically the only time I drink soda anymore is when I'm at the laundromat. Because they have experimental soda flavors for some reason. Stuff that I can't find anywhere
flavored?
else. Yeah, soda flavors. Experimental soda flavors.
Okay.
Sody pops, soft drinks. It's exquisite, by the way. Very exquisite. But yeah, I like your fic, and on the babysitter. I think I read the other ones. I enjoyed them. I would have read them a while ago though, so I don't remember all the beats. You will get some feedback from me. I don't know how in depth I'm gonna write it, but I will give you written feedback. I'll put it on the fic. You'll receive that in your email.
Nice.
But yeah, if you have nothing else to say, I guess I can move on to the See Space Cowboy.
Let me check the time. It's kind of about to be dinner time here, so I don't know exactly when we're gonna eat. Maybe it's a good point to close down shop right now.
Mm-hmm. It is roughly noon for me. $11:30 right here. So yeah, I think we'll sign us off. See you, Space Cowboys.
Yes.